Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking on Capnclydes MTG. More news in the TCG world. We talked about MetaZoo yesterday. Today, we're going to talk about One Piece reprints. So before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Comments down below, feed the YouTube algorithm, yada, yada, yada. Links in the description. We got all kinds of stuff. Patreon, eBay, TCG Player Store. The best thing you do for free is subscribe and come back and keep watching the videos. That'll help support a brother. Because if you don't, I'm going to have to get sponsors eventually. And we don't want that unless it's ShamWow. Anyway, we got memberships. We're on Rumble. Check it out. So let's get into it. So we talked yesterday about MetaZoo and the collapse of MetaZoo. Now, the very next day, we have One Piece coming out, otherwise known as the Bandai Corporation, and stating they're going to reprint previous sets. So, what does that mean for everybody playing One Piece? Well, honestly, not a whole lot if you just like the game. However, people who were sinking tons of money into this because it was skyrocketing left and right are, well, let's say, a bit perturbed, if you could call it that. More like losing their shit. Because One Piece is a set that probably does need reprints because it picked up really well and there's not a lot to go around. But by going back and reprinting previous sets, depending how they do it, could very well damage the entire card market of One Piece. Now, why does One Piece need sets reprinted? Well, let's take an example and look at this Pillars of Strength box right here. So this is Pillar of Strength. All the way back to February of 23. You can see it came out around 165. It took a dip down to 80 at one point in October 23, but has since climbed to 250. Boxes are ridiculously expensive for this product. And that's probably one of the reasons why people are a little upset. So let's go in here again. Let's look at another one. Kingdoms of Intrigue. You can see here again, $162 for a box. Not too long ago, it had taken a dip down to 80, started at 140. It's now up to 170. But these boxes are coming out. They're coming out hot. They're coming out, I don't want to say extremely high, but they're coming out, getting bought out, and being flipped and flipped and flipped in the marketplace, causing One Piece to just be insane in the price. For example, here we have Awakening of a New Era. These are all cases of 12. You can see some of the cards on here are god-awful expensive. Let's get into some single box prices here. So here we go. Romance of the Dawn booster box, $540 a box. Hello. Yeah. When did this come out? I don't know. The lowest it got was 148. It's now up to almost 600. That is insanely high for when this product came out. There's not a lot of information on it as far as, when it came out, at least on the TCG Player website. But that's probably a prime box to be reprinted. Paramount War, a box that's $375. And these boxes aren't all that old. They had a dip at the beginning of 23, in the middle of 23, late 23, but yeah, it's just, So what does that mean for One Piece? Well, with card prices so high and people are slabbing these things, it's got a really good following. That's good and it's keeping the prices high. The problem is, if they reprint too much, then there'll be an issue because they'll flood the market, they'll kill demand, and the secondary market will start to plummet. Now, prices hasn't reflected it yet because it was just announced on the 30th, I believe. Um, but at the end of the day, reprinting anything will cause the price to initially drop. Now, the price may go back up depending on how much they print, what they print, and where they put the boxes, how they sell them. But people who play who play One Piece, they're okay with it because they want the cards and they want the boxes. However, people who have been sitting on these boxes, and there's a lot of them. You notice here this $500 box now has 47 listings. If this box was $500, it wouldn't have 47 listings of people selling this for that kind of money. So a lot of these 2-year-old Japan prices, Japanese boxes. If you want an American one, you're probably gonna have to pay the 500. But point being, this is absurd. I'm just curious. 34 boxes, Japanese Almighty Enemy Booster. Oh, see, that's not even the box that's on the pictures. They got this one listed in the wrong spot. So that's probably why these boxes are so cheap. Romance of the Dawn, again, wrong box. This is the Romance of the Dawn box. It's $500. Anyway, um, do they need extra cards? Yeah, probably. Should there be reprints? That's a tough question. I kind of think they should reprint the cards into a new set. The same cards into a new set, maybe um, different style art or something if they're worried about playability. But by going back and reprinting these cards in these sets exactly how they were, is going to have the same effect that it had on Lorcana. Now Lorcana is still down to about $150 a box. It's actually at the proper pricing. But all the card values for Lorcana have pretty much tanked except for the special cards. Which, maybe that's fine. But long story short, people are pissed because they invested all this money into One Piece because it was the next big thing. And now they're going to reprint all of it and people can't flip it to get their money back. If the bottom falls out of it, everybody's going to be mad who are hoarding these boxes. And trust me, people are. That's what they do. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where we go from here. Whether we go from I want my expensive stuff and I won't sell to I want game pieces and I don't care how many times you reprint it and who's going to win. But honestly, at the end of the day, how the company runs their business and what they do with it, um, it's going to be interesting because we've seen what the MetaZoo example did, and we could talk all day long about it, but we won't. This example, we have a very high product doing very well and very expensive, but they're going to reprint old product. So, it could be that moving forward, they should just print more of the current product, leave the old product where it is, and like I said, reprint the old cards into new packs. But it's hard to say what the right thing is. And at the end of the day, I don't really have an opinion, honestly, because I don't play One Piece. I'm not into it. I didn't invest in it. It just wasn't my thing. I know everybody loves One Piece as the anime. I couldn't get into it as an anime either. I'm sorry. I couldn't. A little too silly for me, but I don't know. That's just me. If you like One Piece, I understand why. Long series. It's got some good stuff going on. And I will admit, as silly as it is, some of the stuff and some of the art and animation they did for the anime and the book is phenomenal most of the time. So it's really cool. I'm not going to knock it. But just not my jam, so therefore I did not invest. So everybody's upset about this. We're going to see how this goes. So, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, honestly, they're just reprinting an old product that's extremely high because there's not a lot of it to go around and everybody wants some of it. And it's ran by Bandai. Would Bandai do something like print something into oblivion until it's worthless and they've soaked all the money out of the market and then move on to the next product? I mean, come on. It's Bandai. Would they really do that? I mean, really? Really? Yeah, you probably don't want to answer that question. So, we'll see where this train rides and how fast it derails. So until next time, be kind, and as usual, I hope to see you across from the game table, but it will not be playing One Piece. Unless the cards do plummet and become so cheap that it doesn't matter anymore. Then maybe, I guess, for lack of something better to do. Did anybody in these card companies know what the hell they're doing? Jesus Christ, it's like a giant shit show of who can fuck up the worst.